What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about AMC, GME, as well as the overall broader market. So today, AMC was up for 4.35% for the day. It had a high of $16.14. The average volume on AMC is around 40.93 million, but today's volume was around 52.70 million, which is definitely slight bit over the average volume, and it's almost the double of the volume that we had yesterday. Now, there is no good news out there in the overall broader market. The kind of day that we had today was very tricky. It was in the red in the morning, and then it stayed consistent around 383 to $384 in the SPY. And then almost at the market close, it had a sell off. Now let's come over to the GameStop. Now GameStop was up for 5.40% for the day. It had a high of $142.59. The average volume on GameStop is around 3.37 million, but today's volume was around 4.22 million, which is definitely higher than the average volume, and even it was almost over the double volume that came in yesterday. Now GameStop and AMC are pretty much assigned towards a bottom, but right now there is nothing to be confirmed that we might have found a bottom in the overall broader market. But usually what happens is GME basically gets squeezed before we find a bottom in the overall broader market. But tomorrow's CPI number is going to be out, which could be a disaster, and I personally think it's going to be a disaster and we're going to have some sort of a significant downtrend. But by looking at the options flow in the SPY, yes, majority of them are still on to the upside as compared to the downside, but there were a lot of put buying happening in the SPY at the market close. Now let's come over to the SPY. Now SPY was down for 0.88% for the day. It had a high of $386.16. So you can see it for yourself. The kind of volatility was there in the SPY today. It went up to $386.16. Then it went back down to $380.83. So there is nothing significant that is coming out of the chart of the SPY. There is not much gap to the downside. There are few gaps onto the upside into the SPY, but we just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. Now let's come over to the VIX. Now VIX was up for 4.28% for the day. It had a high of $27.75. Now the VIX is responding to the volatility that we have in the overall broader market. It is shooting up quite a bit. Now tomorrow is a very big day. If the CPI number came in anything over 9%, it could be a big disaster in the overall broader market, though the CPI number doesn't fluctuate that much. But previously we had 8.6%. If it goes up over 9%, which it could because of the rising oil prices that we had in the last month, we just have to wait till tomorrow and see how this is going to play out. But tomorrow is a very big day. If we get a bad inflation number, we're going to have a major sell off for the rest of the week. And then the next week, the Fed is going to decide how much basis point they have to increase in order to control this inflation. Now let's come over to the options flow for the AMC. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now all these whales are buying call options on AMC. Even in the aftermarket, the AMC hasn't gone down quite a bit. It's still holding pretty well in the aftermarket. And these $13 call options these individuals were buying, they're paying a huge amount of money. They're buying a huge amount of contracts, and they are betting that the AMC is going to go up from here onwards. I haven't seen this kind of a options flow for a while in AMC. These individuals are buying very short expiration call options, and they are betting a huge amount of money that the AMC is going to have an upside from here onwards. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit and see what exactly the mini whale and the retail are doing, again majority of them are on to the upside, and they are buying these call options. They're buying a huge amount of call options with a huge amount of contracts, and they are betting to the upside for the AMC. Now I personally think AMC might have some sort of a relief rally to the upside because it has been crushed, it has been oversold. Now we just have to wait and see how AMC and GMA is going to play out for the rest of the week. Now let's come over to the GameStop. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now today the options flow has completely changed in the GameStop. A lot of individuals have started buying put options buying that was happening in the GameStop, and they're betting quite a bit of money and quite a bit of contracts into the downside for the GameStop. But I still expect some sort of upward momentum is still left into the GameStop from here onwards. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit and see what exactly the mini whales are doing, now like I mentioned, the option flow has changed quite a bit. There were not many put buying that was happening recently in the GameStop till yesterday, but now the options flow has changed. A lot of these individuals are buying put options and they are betting that the GameStop is going to go down from here onwards. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. The rest, there was nothing majorly suspicious coming out of the options flow for the GameStop. Now let's come over to the options flow for the SPY. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now this one whale came in today and this individual is basically an institutional money, and he's buying $380 call option. It's going to expire in 37 days, and he's buying 12,500 contracts, and he's paying $18 million for it. I have no idea what information this institute is having on them, but they are betting quite a huge amount of money and buying a huge amount of contract and betting that the SPY is going to go up from here onwards. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit and see what exactly the mini whales are doing, now these mini whales are definitely still very strong onto the upside for the SPY, and they are buying this huge amount of contracts, and a huge amount of money is being invested in buying the call option into the SPY, and they are giving a lot of time to themselves. They are expecting some sort of a relief rally is about to happen in the overall broader market, and they are buying these 156 days call option, and they are betting that the SPY is going to go up from here onwards. But like I mentioned, right before the market close, there were a lot of put buying that was happening into the overall broader market. They were buying these $363 and $367 put options. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit more further, you can see it for yourself. These $363 put options, 367, $363, again they came in a line, and they are all betting that this SPY is gonna go down from here onwards. Now these numbers are pretty much realistic. We have already been gone down to 365. If the CPI number came in a little bit high, then we can expect SPY can go to near around $350. That would be a major sell off that I can say that would happen. But after that, next week we have Fed as well, which might bring down the market a little bit more further, just because they might have to increase the interest rate from 75 basis point to 100 basis point, which can create more fear in the market or a panic. If the CPI number came in tomorrow over 10%, we can expect some sort of a significant downtrend coming into the overall broader market. But what we are expecting and what the banks are expecting, it would be somewhat below 9%. Let's hope for the best and see how this is going to play out for tomorrow. Hope so. You like my video, please like and subscribe my channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.